In the 2001 direct-to-DVD movie Holiday in the Sun, teen icons Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen star as Madison and Alex Stewart. But don't worry, because those two slightly fictionalized names are basically as deep as either of them are willing to go in terms of portraying a fully developed character. The rest of this movie is essentially a sizzle reel letting you know what fun activities you can do at the Atlantis, Bahamas resort location where it was filmed, making it all feel extremely lazy, corporate, and counterproductive. Because for every 2-minute sequence I have to sit through watching people go down this hotel's water slide is another 2 minutes that I spend thinking about how crusty the duvet covers probably are over there. I promise I'm not snobby, I just think and say a lot of snobby things. And yet I still won't be the most insufferable thing on the screen. When we review Holiday in the Sun's convoluted, nothing burger story, incomprehensible dialogue, and a cast of 21-year-olds lusting after 15-year-olds. Meanwhile, I'm over here just hoping for more swimsuit scenes with the dad. So as you can see, it's all kind of a mess here on another Megan Fox Plays the Mean Girl installment of Clip Breakdown. Thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Casetify. Casetify makes the best phone cases I've ever used, and they come in all these amazing designs with military-grade drop protection. Their impact and ultra impact cases are even made with 65% recycled and plant-based materials. I'm trying to focus a lot more on the plastic and waste that I put into landfills, and I'm so happy that Casetify joins me in that venture. For example, if you're upgrading to the new iPhone 13 or just switching out your cases, you don't actually have to throw them away. You can send them back to Casetify through their Recasetify program, recycling your phone case from them or any other brand while also earning a special discount on your next Casetify order. But that doesn't mean you're skimping on drop protection. The Ultra Impact cases feature Qi-Tech 2.0 technology with drop protection of up to 9.8 feet, 5G, and wireless charging compatible. It's so much fun choosing from their curated selection of prints and designs. This little fruit sticker one, I'm always touching and scratching. This personalized mirrored one for a quick nose hair check. They even feature Defensify, a special coating that kills 99% of germs and microbes. And you know that plastic is non-toxic and non-hazardous. Casetify makes an incredible gift for friends and family, so if you want to check out this brand for yourself, go to casetify.com/NickDiRamio to save 15% on your order. Oh, let's go back into the sweet, swimmy waters of the Bahamas. Hello, television viewers. My name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other such content here on the web, and we separate them out into clips like little tropical cocktails that you get to taste and say, oh, I'm wasting away again in Margaritaville. And waste away you will at the Atlantis resort where this movie takes place. I remember watching Holiday in the Sun very clearly as a child, but then also I forgot a lot of this awful shit as well, so I'm on island time, starting now. We meet up with our main characters who seem to live in, what is it, Iowa? Idaho? Illinois. Sorry, to me, all states that begin with an I are exactly the same. Yes, hip hip to you too, Weezer. Lovely day to be an asteroid crashing into the United States, isn't it? Now, some of you might not have been born yet, but as you see, there was a time in the early thousands when all of the United States was covered in amber waves of grain. In fact, that reminds me of a very special song about this great country of ours, and it goes a little something like this. I'm telling you to loosen up my buttons, babe. Loosen up my buttons, babe. Sorry, I forgot about whatever dirt road song I was discussing previously. My cornfield, 'tis of thee, doesn't matter. When my brain registers that it's time to go into show mode, I pretty much make up my own set list on the spot.
And we breathe it in and reduce it, oxidizing sugar and forming water. Photosynthesis is what?
If I wanted a sugar daddy, yes, I probably could go out and get one because
Photosynthesis is what?
sickening.
There's something very familiar about the beginning of this movie, so we gotta get into it.
Respiration is energy releasing.
Madison, is there an American Eagle campaign photo shoot happening in your microscope? Because the school rents those from a third-party vendor. Also, I cannot let this review go on 1 second longer without saying that Holiday in the Sun walked on its bloody, hobbled, direct-to-DVD stumps so that High School Musical 2 could run in its store-bought sequined ballet flats. This is basically the same way High School Musical 2 starts, where they're like, summer, summer, summer. I mean, I guess it's just a cliche thing to be dreaming about summer vacation. Come to think of it, we see that a lot. But you just wait. I know that the people who made High School Musical were like, oh, let's take Holiday in the Sun and adapt that. It feels exactly the same.
Are you dreaming what I was dreaming? Winter break in Hawaii?
Their classmate on the other side is like, I'm dreaming about paying for community college without joining the military, but I like your bucket hat that costs the same as 1 associate's degree. The rest of this scene kind of plays out like the weird tail end of a dream once your alarm starts going off in real life because the building is on fire and you're inhaling toxic smoke. All of a sudden, the girls get called to the principal's office and everyone's like, ooh, principals. So then they leave the classroom and...
Oh, Catherine, what are you
guys.
doing here? We were on our way to the principal's office.
No, you're not. You're coming with me.
Wait, did Mary Kate and Ashley just get kidnapped from their school by one of the power lesbians from Sex and the City? I don't know what's happening either, girls, but just do whatever gender-bent 007 says, and maybe she'll buy you a pair of Gucci loafers. This woman, who we never see again, and I assume is like part of the other in-universe movies that they did at this time. Like, I think Madison and Alex Stewart have gone on lots of movies, and this is one of them, and that Elizabeth character is like the dad's assistant. It was really confusing to me. As a standalone movie, I'm like, what? So she's like, no, you're not going to the principal's. You're going to this private jet with your dad.
Come on, guys, gotta go. Hurry up, buckle up. Hey, buckle up because we're next for takeoff, okay?
Yeah, you already said buckle up in the wide shot, Dad. Why do we need to wear our seatbelts so badly? Can't you just, like, choose not to crash the plane? Whatever, seatbelts on, children. Your dad is the kind of white guy wealthy that makes him think he can pilot a jet, which I think is how Harrison Ford keeps legally crashing into all of these school buildings and such. Again, this intro, this whole setup is so bewildering to me. I need them to give you all of the details before I tear into them. The girls are, like, talking about this plan to go on a school trip to Hawaii, and that is for nothing.
No, we're not going to Hawaii today, girls. I'm taking you to Atlantis.
As in the lost continent?
No, at the Atlantis Resort in the Bahamas.
That's right, I spent $50,000 gassing up this private plane so we could fly to a value resort that advertises a buffet where kids eat free. In case any of you OG Holiday in the Sun viewers happen to forget, this movie is essentially a feature-length commercial for Atlantis Resort, which, as we'll see, is way too much time to explore what is basically a hotel with jet skis and a water slide. I sort of feel like the longer we're at this location, the more I realize how badly the carpets need to be cleaned. Anyway, the girls are upset at first because they wanted to go on a winter break to Hawaii with their friends, and I'm like, the private plane privilege of this all.
You guys are gonna get hungry, aren't you? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, did Dad come through?
Thank
Dad
you.
come
Dad remembered our security blankets. All glazed.
Wait, you're telling me that my security blanket can be comprised of 6 glazed donuts like they're infinity stones? If that were me, I'd be like, Dad, you got me a half dozen Krispy Kremes for a 2-hour flight to the Bahamas? What am I supposed to do for the last hour and 55 minutes? Suckle the sugar off my sister's fingertips? Because that's where this plane is headed, you idiot. You know I don't clear the tarmac for less than a baker's dozen, Bob. You would think my wealthy father would know this about me. Okay, so glazed donuts are one of those foods that's like, I don't know, sort of like ice cream where it becomes liquid as you eat it, and therefore very easy to eat 3 or 4 dozen, you know? It's fine. Donut, dip, Krispy Kreme. So yeah, we've got a lot of product placement in this one. That like completely distracting moment with the Krispy Kreme donuts. They got those boxes on their laps like they're tray tables for the whole flight over here. I'm so confused.
On an island in the sun, we'll be playing and having fun.
Wow, honey, it was so thoughtful of our travel agent to give this DVD to our kids for no particular reason. You know, I should really call her to book a trip for the family this summer vacation. In fact, this Atlantis resort looks pretty nice. Okay, it's settled. Anyway, the kids miss you so much, honey. Your face haunts me in my sleep. Hip, hip. Ah, yes, that famous Atlantis resort landmark. And also the reason why they have something with weird rubbery swordfish on the menu for every meal. They said, can we squeeze in 1, 2, or 3 shots of this statue that doesn't mean anything? You know what they say in show business, the old 1 fish, 2 fish, metal roof fish? You're wasting my time already, movie, and we're, what are we? 5 minutes in? Oh, I hate my life.
Excuse me. Oh, were you in line? Next time, take a number.
Sick burn, Mary-Kate or Ashley. You totally made it sound like you work at a deli counter just now. As you can see, Megan Fox makes her film debut as Brianna Wallace in this movie, who was just one of the Mean Girl muses who helped me nail down my character for my acting debut in an HBO show later this year. Hi, I'm the new kid here at Euphoria High School. My name is Skybird Bradford, and my favorite subjects are biology and AP sucking. Actually loving this look. Gross. On an island in the sun. So yeah, the girls are supposed to be getting the news if their family friends who we're just now finding out about are joining them or have arrived on the trip. Here's the thing, what the the movie starts with us in the school for some reason. That didn't even really need to be the case, because then we get all this weird introduction of them going to Hawaii that doesn't pay off because they don't go to Hawaii. I don't know if it's like in the last movie it set up that they were going to Hawaii and the screenwriters felt they needed to write in some sort of change, but it's a lot. It's too confusing. Don't have the surprise Hawaii change happen because it really basically means nothing. Also, I don't know why they had to get called to the principal's office, then interrupted by the secretary, and then get on the private plane to meet the dad, and then fly to Hawaii to meet the mom. Like, are you kidding me? You could have condensed that so much by just having the parents come to the door and be like, we're taking you somewhere special, you know, but whatever. We're finally at the hotel anyway. They should have rewritten that whole beginning, because Jesus Christ.
Brianna Wallace, messages please.
Certainly, Miss Wallace. And how is your father today?
In the casino. Wondering why this is taking so long?
Well then, Brianna, tell your gambling-addicted father that if he wanted his rent boy delivered to the hotel before noon, he should have paid for the expedited trafficking. That's the whole reason we launched the Atlantis Lightning Glane service. Sorry, I said that way too fast. It's Lightning Glane, named after this lady who runs it. Also, I'm pretty sure whatever 16th century noblewoman Brianna's parents burgled that first name from never intended for it to be pronounced so nasally. Open up your vowels, sis, and speak like this isn't your first all-inclusive resort stay. Again, the High School Musical 2 of it all is astounding. Brianna is the perfect blueprint for Sharpay in High School Musical 2 when Troy and Gabriella end up at the whatever country club, which Sharpay has everyone wrapped around her finger because her dad is a high roller there. Same thing for Brianna Wallace here. She gets what she wants because the dad spends money there, I guess. Which to me is not good advertising for Atlantis, because it's like, oh, you give preferential treatment to certain guests, whatever. So the girls meet up with their family friends, these 2 kids who are joining them. I don't remember how these 2 are introduced, like whatever.
Hey Griffin. Hey Keegan.
Hi, Madison. And Alex.
Hi.
It's crazy that even your little sister can tell which one of these twins you think about when you masturbate, so pull it together. By the way, this is the scene I've bookmarked whenever I need to remember what everyone's names are. Griffin ends up with Madison in and in, that's my mnemonic device, and Madison has straight hair, and she's played by Mary-Kate. Alex has the firm hold beachy waves, played by Ashley, and she ends up going steady with this guy named Foreskin, I wanna say. That can't be right, but it feels right. Children, come greet your Uncle Foreskin. Uncle Foreskin is the new Rumpelstiltskin. And you heard it here first. Oh no, Jordan. His name is Jordan, not Foreskin. Madison, Griffin, Jordan. Like, these names are trying to give me an aneurysm. I have a full-on new hemorrhoid because of that.
These family vacations are great, but we're old enough to be on our own now. Ooh, here's a good one. Computer gaming magnet, waiting for technology to catch up with him.
Says the girl who just zoomed in on him with her Terminator vision. Also, what the fuck are you even talking about, Cuckoo Cabana? I feel like production used that crazy special effect to distract us from the fact that Madison was saying words that had nothing to do with the person shown on screen, which is something I would never do because I always know exactly what I'm talking about, especially when I discuss the perpetuation of a false infographic about a binary climate. So these girls are just like looking at guys on the beach all day. That's what girls do.
Ooh, this one's ready for marriage. How do you know? Pierre Stair. He knows pain and he's bought jewelry.
Oh, sorry. Was I somehow in charge of the music cue for that one? Okay, back to one, everybody. I'll try again.
Ooh, this one's ready for marriage. How do you know? Pierre Stair. He knows pain and he's bought jewelry.
That still feels like a very jaded marital comment for an undeveloped 15-year-old to make. But I guess some of these jokes are more meant for the parents watching along at home and the uber wealthy child predators that Hollywood covertly makes content for. Anyway, back to you beach girls.
I feel the need for speed.
That was me meeting with my depression after trying amphetamines for the first time. If I met these girls in real life, I would be like, I'm sorry, are you the cheesiest twins who ever shared an egg cell? Because everything you say sounds like it's a one-liner written by some film producer who minored in screenwriting. You are also not going to believe how many montages are in this movie, and then you'll further disbelieve how many of them are to a song by the band Super Chick.
They look like they're having so much fun. Oh, so much fun they're having.
Family.
To family.
To family.
Yes, take note of all the family time, parents. Isn't this the type of place you'd like to spend your 2 weeks of vacation per year? Look how frosty, cold, and refreshing the family time looks in those cocktail glasses. To family, and the Atlantis Unlimited Alcoholic Beverage Package that allows us to spend more than a few hours at a time with them. Meanwhile, the kids have gotten into a fiery jet ski accident. The whole reason they spend so much time showing the parents have fun on this trip too is because they know who the card holders of the family are and who they really need to sell this resort to.
Hot enough for you?
Okay, why does 11-year-old Keegan have the personality of Jonah Hill in Superbad? Poor Griffin here is having full-on That's So Raven visions about his crush, while Ramona Quimby down there is like, I bet you want to suck the seawater out of her life jacket, don't you, bro? Like, sweetheart, please. Also, in 2001, most suburban white kids that spunky would already have cornrows by this point of their Caribbean vacation. How did Bo Derek become the universal fashion muse for every third grade class? Also, we're supposed to know that Griffin and Keegan's mom is like a shrink, the dad works with the other dad, and the daughter is like a prodigy.
That's why your deeply repressed feelings are written all over your face.
What do you know?
Everything. I have a stunning IQ.
That's a pretty good comeback, and I will be using it for everything, but your IQ claim better be backed up by officially proctored exam results, because I've already given away like 25 grand in scholarship money to a bunch of teen entrepreneurs who are actually just really good at Monopoly. But honestly, that's on me for being too afraid of confrontation to defend myself against fraud. Alex and Galax are on the beach, and some boy comes G.I. Joe stomping onto the ground.
Do you see? I'm all over that.
This was the heroic parachute fantasy that Donald Trump pictured when he delivered those paper towels to Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. Right down to meeting underage twins at a hotel. Everybody, meet Jordan, the blondest, blandest person at the resort.
Hey girls, do you party?
This guy's parasailing instructor is out on the boat like, okay, I kind of had a whole afternoon planned, but I guess we're done now. If someone dropped out of the sky and then came right up and talked to me, I think I would be traumatized. Like, what in the storming of Normandy is happening on this artificial beach? That guy's name is not Jordan. It's like Burpee, Derpy, Gerpy the Derpy, Griffin, Jordan. Who's the other guy? Chad. Chad is this third person, or is his name Scott? Who the is that? I don't know, he's like a third person. It doesn't seem to matter. Let's get to know some of the family at dinner.
Keegan, did you make that beautiful necklace?
Oh, it's nothing. Just a typical string of molluscous cohabitation.
Okay.
Puka shells.
Oh.
When we go out later tonight, what if we just leave her hotel room unlocked and see what happens? I'm not crazy about the idea of sharing a flight home with her. This is where we meet a little bit of what's special about Griffin, who apparently these girls have known their whole lives, but have never really spoken too much. That makes them seem very self-absorbed, I'm just saying.
Any idea what you want to study?
Well, I've always been interested in flying insects, like bees, wasps, hornets.
So you're going to study entomology?
No, I was actually thinking aeronautical engineering.
Oh.
I want to punch this whole conversation in the face. How did you think that listing your favorite bugs would be giving her enough information to say that you were going to study engineering? Were you like stung by a lot of wasps on the head as a kid? He said, no, you stupid girl. I'm going to make an airplane shaped like a bumblebee's ass. Voila. Griffin and the two girls go to that teen party that Chad, I want to say, invited them to. Robert or Chad, we don't care.
I'll get the drinks.
Pineapple smoothies for us will be just fine.
That's Madison and Alex's predetermined single fruit smoothie flavor of choice, which they discussed and decided upon before leaving the hotel. How are you gonna overact the word pineapple smoothie? She's like, one pineapple smoothie will be just fine for us. Babe, settle it. These girls are like, it's not weird enough that we're twins who always dress the same, even at this age. So we also eat the same foods and simultaneously use one love seat-sized toilet. The girls can't enter a room without being like, do you smell any uncut in here? They're looking at boys the first minute they show up. Why did I say that? Oh my God, sponsored. We're sponsored.
He's smiling at you. No, I'm not blind, I saw that.
I'm gonna dance.
Good for you.
Listen, Madison and Alex, I was in the same situation when I was 15, which is why I'm telling you, don't cop an attitude with your 21-year-old boyfriend once you're at the club, because he will leave you there. And then you'll have to call the non-emergency police line for a ride home. It's not that my parents weren't paying attention to me as a child, it's that like they had to sleep sometimes and I wasn't afraid of climbing out of windows. I don't know why the two girls are coming off so cagey and sarcastic in this scene. All of their dialogue swings from sounding like it came from a middle-aged sitcom writer or his actual 13-year-old daughter who thinks she's cool because she gets to walk to school by herself next year. We are getting a good musical experience here though. I love the Swedish girl group Play, who we've seen in other movies on this channel. And also they created songs for the Cheetah Girls. But that one there seems to be too young to even perform at a teen club. Especially singing this song that seems to be an entire evening long. Please tell me they all have real human guardians and aren't just the property of some Swedish music company. If so, we're gonna rescue you girls, break you out of this resort show business and find you forever homes. Maybe assembling iPhones. Okay, now we're meeting Jordan. I don't know who the that was before with the parachute, but not Jordan.
Jordan, I live here. I take care of the marine habitats of the Atlantis. It's enormous. Some people say it's the largest in the world.
Well, that seems like something they should be able to find out definitively, since they're so curious. We're discussing the size of a fish tank, not the known universe. If this guy is old enough to have a full-time job at a hotel, then he's full-time too old to be hitting on the teenage girls who come through as guests. But you know what's trouble? Brianna Wallace. I want to say Brianna because I'm not trash, but it's Brianna. I'm just kidding. You're not trash if you say Brianna. I said I was gonna say snobby today, and you said it was allowed. You said you loved it about me. You said it's the reason you subscribed to my Patreon. Oh, also, I think one of my first live watch parties on Patreon was A Holiday in the Sun, so if you sign up, you can watch that archived version. So the resident cool girl of the club, Brianna, has her eyes on Jordan too.
I'm so tired of these lavish winter parties, hanging out at the beach, getting tans, pedicures, and enjoying the good graces of my affluent father.
Brianna, sweetie, even if your friends could understand what you're saying right now, you would still sound like an idiot. Enjoying the good graces of my affluent father? Like, you don't have to talk that way just because you rubbed the outside of Jason Q's pants while Pride and Prejudice was playing.
Brianna, it just wouldn't be winter vacay if you didn't hook up with the cutest boy on the beach. So who's it gonna be?
Yeah, Brianna, hurry up and pick a boy. For some reason, our entire winter vacay hinges on whether or not you find a cute person to explore sexually with. And let's set the mood with some play. Play the play. Play.
Hey, what's up?
Not my temperature.
Okay, great. She said it's not a fever, you guys. It's shiny from oil, not sweat.
Say.
Nothing, and keep moving.
Well, pick somebody already. The girls from Play are exhausted from having to repeat this chorus for the entire party. The little one with pigtails is just step touching from the back of the stage, glaring at us angrily.
I'll bet money on Brianna any day.
Why, are you trying to win some cash to replace a few of those teeth? I'm not an orthodontist or anything, but I do know enough to know that that girl would need elastics with her braces. Sorry about it. It's teeth. It's the way teeth is. So Brianna and Jordan and Alex Jalex are clashing heads.
My name is Brianna Wallace, as in the Wallace department store Wallaces.
Jordan Landers is in the Landers hardware store Landers.
A sense of humor. Cute.
Wait, was that even a joke, or do you both just come from families that own stores? God, I hate this under 21 dance party. It feels like a lava lamp in here. I'm leaving as soon as Brianna tells me what color glitter gel pen she uses to draw a fine line of highlighter under her spaghetti brow.
Now that we've met, I just want to get a few things straight around here. I get what I want, and this winter break, I want Jordan.
Jordan is a grown man, and therefore perfectly capable of choosing which one of us will be his child bride. Also, he said whichever one he doesn't pick is getting drowned in the shark tank. I was hoping it was a joke, but I don't think it was. I've seen defensive marks on his forearms.
Brianna Wallace, let the games begin.
Okay, now this movie is failing the Bechdel test when there aren't even two women in the scene. So that's where we're at by the time the song ends. Great job, girls. You can all grab a sliver of frozen pizza on your way to the van. We have a 24-hour flight to catch over to Iceland for no reason. Mary-Kate and Ashley were supposed to be home at 11. Like, again, they didn't build in any suspense to the being late. Like, a movie would typically be like, oh my God, we gotta rush to get home. And they're sneaking into the hotel, like, making that a conflict. Instead, they just, like, come home and they're like, oops, we're late. It's like, don't tell us, show us.
It is 12:15 a.m.
Precisely 75 minutes past curfew.
Curfew, vacay, what the f is up? Did they have a design your own crepe bar at breakfast this morning and now all the Americans are putting an accent over every syllable?
Well, it was your loss. We had a great time tonight, and it would have been nice to share it with you as a family.
Between 11 p.m. and midnight, what were you gonna do? Force them to watch reruns of MASH on TV Land? They both are dressed like they've been waiting up for their daughters to come home, but they're reciting lines from a version of the script that was 4 revisions ago when they thought there would be a budget to show fun activities on screen. Other than riding jet skis and drinking melted smoothies, which we've got plenty of. Anyway, the kids sweet talk their way out of punishment. I hate this family.
We'll see. Go to bed.
What was that? Ugh, that unsettling combinations of facial expressions just like caused a rift in my multiverse. She said, "Mwah, let me blow my dad a kiss like he's the stranger at the end of a bar, and then smile crazy like that Pine Sol puke girl from The Sixth Sense. Munchausen by Proxatina, or whatever her name was." So the next day, the whole family has so much fun at the pool. Let's watch. Okay, what's the polite way to tell someone they need to ditch that goofy wife of theirs? I booked this Atlantis trip to roughhouse with a handsome dad near a water slide, so frankly, her presence is a little homophobic. Hey Barbara, I heard they're looking for the coolest mom at the hotel to help test the scuba equipment, so why don't you go practice holding your breath underwater or something? No, in a different hot tub than us, thank you. The absurd level of Atlantis vacation bliss that these adults are trying to portray for us is actually just highlighting how basic and boring it all looks.
You know, maybe I'll start rapping myself. From the night since I'm a university dorm, when I put pen to paper with the paper to pen for the times I'm not gonna write in front of women and men.
Ugh. Why does it feel like this movie gets its entire sense of humor from a commercial for a weird fancy chocolate bar that was discontinued in the 90s? We get more High School Musical 2 because one of the girls, the names are done. I'm done with knowing the names. Mary-Kate or Ashley is on her Jordan date and he's like showing her the school of fish or whatever. And Brianna steals him away by being like, I need private scuba lessons, which is exactly what Sharpay does with golf lessons in High School Musical 2. You can play that game when the girl steals him back with a false cleanup claim and they play with stingrays. That's a whole montage. Oh, Griffin is talking to the skydiving guy who wants to get with Alex, let's say. No, Jordan. No, Melinat. So the one that Griffin ends up with, I think it's Madison. The guy from the skydiving thing wants to get with Madison too, so Griffin is like kind of helping him for some reason. That sucks to explain. I hate this. Meanwhile, Alex is on this weird trip of feeding fish with Jordan.
Have a woke up and had a dream.
Listen, it's f***ed up for a guy to chop up dead animals in front of you on a first date. I don't care if he does work at the aquarium. That's actually another strike against him. I learned in my 20s that it's really hard to make a relationship work when both parties have fish-smelling. The dry cleaning bills alone caused a nightly argument. How come I can't say that, but they can show chopped up fish? That's what I thought. Anyway, they go right from the fish feeding montage to a swim-in montage.
Not afraid to fall, it means I climbed up high. To fall is not to fail, you fail when you don't try.
I'm not exaggerating, this is the third musical montage we've seen in 10 minutes of runtime. And the second or third we've seen in the movie featuring a song from Super Chick. I would love to give you a definitive number on that, but their music really tends to blur together. I am a one-girl marching band and you're gonna know my name. This semester's gonna rock. I'm excited for my confirmation. I'll devote my whole life to Jesus Christ. Do you devote your whole to Jesus Christ? Sound off in the comments below. Ugh, so the girls are shopping.
What's in town?
Shopping.
As an American Express card member, you'll get worldwide service that goes the extra mile.
American Express, how may I help you?
I hate the whole family. I also hate that it seems like there was crazy like environmental wind or noise on location that caused them to have to ADR most of these lines.
You know, you can come with us if you want. We know how you love shopping with us.
Maybe I'll just dive into the Shark Tank. I'll dive into the Shark Tank to avoid shopping. How's that?
Sounds good, but first let me grab a virgin pina colada and find a pool chair that I can watch from. Mary Kate, sweetheart, can you find that grown man you're f***ing and have him rub your father down with the fish guts? Thank you. Do you want a shopping montage? Why the f*** wouldn't you?
I'll be everything that I wanna be. I am confident in insecurity.
Cute accessories that you're playing around with, girls. At least it's cute when you do it. Because when Zendaya wore that hairstyle with her actual hair, he basically called her ghetto. Why does every shopping montage have to have these awful cultural appropriation costumes in it? Like, I don't think we've seen one that didn't involve like someone putting on a sari and a bindi or one of these hats. It's insane to me, but so is everything. When the girls are eating lunch or whatever, they see Jordan talking to some guy in town, and that's suspicious.
What's Jordan doing here? I don't know.
I think he lives in this town, girls. We're gonna be here all day if you're trying to Nancy Drew and finish your Jamba Juice at the same time. So let's all be cool. You just met that guy yesterday. This old cliche sitcom trope is happening where Jordan is on a walkie-talkie with the skydive guy who's sort of empty-headed. So Jordan is trying to feed him lines of what to say, but it doesn't go well, I guess. It's really boring. And then Jordan and him, they sneak into the pool after hours. They get into trouble a lot here.
From the critics and their stones, I can find my revolution. I can learn to stand alone.
Okay, everybody, get out of the pool now!
Your constant montages are upsetting the space-time continuum of the Bahamas. Also, you kids are lucky because the security guards at Sandals Resort would have just started shooting. They get recruited from the Kremlin. The next day, after the parents bust the kids out of their detention, being in trouble, they're like, what is this part? Why?
Mom and Dad ditched us.
What? Are you sure? Go outside and say it again.
Our parents ditched us.
Okay, before we start making fun of this film for having characters that frequently repeat their lines by accident, you should know that the script supervisor did go into a coma partway through the production due to food poisoning. But don't worry, we are no longer having the wrap party at that particular sushi restaurant. Although they are catering it. Do you think that's okay? We saw the two girls jet skiing. I think like that's like the only thing they were old enough to do is like ride a jet ski when they shot this. Huh. I don't know, these ski-doos seem like they're really high impact on the hip bones and pelvic region. I know an upright paddleboard requires a lot of core strength, but at least I won't feel like I got my taint pounded by a polar bear afterwards. Oh, I'm sorry, I just totally spoiled the plot of The Revenant Part 2, South Dakota After Dark. Oh well, let's ride some goddamn dolphins. Maybe that can be a montage. Oh, it can definitely be a montage. Oh, you didn't know you could connect one montage directly to another? Well, you can. Especially if it features more music from Super Chick. Oh, and look, this time they brought animal tourism. I felt that even using one montage like this is a cheap way to pad out your runtime. So watching a movie that is 75 to 80% a human centipede of montages has me even more stressed out than those captive dolphins over here. If movies were made out of living cells, Holiday in the Sun would be a giant malignant tumor shaped like a jet ski and constantly vibrating at such a frequency that it's humming that Weezer song at all times. They go to another teen party. This movie sucks. We're in middle of Act 2. There should be more happening. Whatever plot they're setting up that we get to in like 15 minutes should be starting like 15 minutes ago.
The best kiwi smoothies in the tropics. This place is off the hook.
Again, I've never seen a smoothie that is just kiwi flavored in my entire life. They're gonna get chemical burns in their throat. I also love that the filmmakers were like, we can use this location to teach kids about all of the authentic foods of the Bahamas, like the Shamrock Shake and 12 donuts. I also hate that they set up this thing where it's like, our parents ditched us because they're mad at us for having an adventure, and then they drop it. The parents are kind of fine with them that day, and then let them do whatever they want for the rest of the thing. Like, what?
Hey Jordan, do you want to dance?
Yeah, with Alex.
Did you just get socially curb stomped at the winter break teen party? Don't worry, that's how baddies are born. Something similar happened to me as a teenager, and it's like I could physically feel my Taylor Swift Reputation era begin. Although that album didn't exist at the time, so it was more of a dressing like Mark from Rent sort of era. God, I'm so lucky that having personal eras wasn't a thing when I was growing up, because so many of them would have been named after Broadway shows and antidepressants. Spring Awakening Lexapro. 08. I think it would be cooler if the parents started to not believe these kids for crying wolf and getting into trouble and being mischievous, so that it kind of created another obstacle or barrier for them to eventually uncover the scandal that they do.
I've had enough crowds, enough kids, and not enough of you. Can we please go?
Oh, absolutely.
That's right, kids. All your parents are having group sex as a special vacation treat. Did they teach you about the Kinsey scale at that public school of yours? Because you're gonna need some background info on dear old dad. These kids are doing the twist and shout like it's the f***ing sock hop 1950s. Oh, and then Jordan, I think, gets up and sings his heart's song.
Through the rain and the water crashing down, wash both of us away.
Okay, I'm afraid that your falling in love highlight reel sort of just draws a circle around the fact that you both met yesterday and have hung out twice. I'm not exaggerating when I say we have reached a montage that is all clips from other montages. And I can't even make the obvious reference to Inception there, because it's more like that human egg sac of acid-spitting multiverse spiders from The Mist. It's an abomination within a disgusting creature. Oh, and things are getting hot and heavy with Jordan and Schmidgen. Jordan and Pigeon.
Has anyone ever told you that I am going to kiss you?
Excuse me? Has anyone ever told you that I am going to kiss you? If that's you trying to be assertive, then you're gonna need to try harder. This is a girl who's been on a lot of family vacations. You gotta live up to her last summer romance, where a kid wearing a goofy hat left a hand-shaped welt on her ass. There's a very dominant subculture on those Disney cruises. Ugh, I just know I'm gonna get angry comments about those jokes. But who am I to apologize to? Goofy? The Walt Disney Company? No. Them. So the two kiss in front of a water feature in a shot that also looks very identical in High School Musical 2. Once again, High School Musical 2 copied this movie, not the other way around, obviously because of linear time. This guy, the blondie, is still trying to impress Alex with the earpiece trick.
Yeah, I mean, the mere thought of spending the day with you made me itch in anticipation. Not itch, you idiot! Twitch! Not itch, you idiot!
What?
He called you an idiot, but also you need to back up off this camera. It's a movie, not a retina scan. This guy's blowing it.
I don't know what your problem is, but I think it's time for me to go to the bathroom.
That's right, your poor behavior gave me diarrhea. So sit here and think about that. And when the waiter comes, tell him I'll be right back after I have my diarrhea. And also I'd like a Diet Coke. More show don't tell. Here, closing out the second act.
Scott told me everything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, she's just explaining the conversation that happened off camera immediately following the scene we just saw for some reason. Apparently the movie didn't have time to show us that cinematic confrontation because it had to hurry along to our next montage, which is actually just the full 2-hour Cirque du Soleil show that they have here at the Atlantis Resort. She's like, you like me? You know all about me? I didn't even know this guy existed before this movie. Like, what? How often did they see each other that he has all these details?
How do you know so much about me?
Well, I guess we haven't known each other for a long time.
I don't know that much about you.
Everybody's got a hobby, right? You're mine.
Uh-oh, I guess she's too young to find that statement deeply unsettling. If your hobby is a person, you need therapy. Unless that person is me, in which case, I think we could be a potential love match. Why don't you add me to your health insurance policy real quick and we'll see where things go. They share a kiss. The actors are 21 and 15. The girls are always talking about, I don't want to talk about it.
We made our bed, now we have to sleep in it. Aha! If we made our bed, why do we want to sleep in it? Do you make your bed and then want to sleep in it?
If I had a bed right now, I think my body would want to die in it. They argue throughout the movie about the logic behind common expressions, but it's very superficial. Like, they don't seem to actually understand the root of those expressions, so it really doesn't make sense. And it also doesn't make them seem smarter. It makes me want to cry. It's awful. But they're complaining about how the parents want to spend time without them, even though that doesn't really seem to be the case. This idea is not fully developed, and it could be in the next few minutes. The girls go on a sunset cruise, which again, the parents are like, you broke the rules by going out alone, so go out alone for the rest of the time. Jordan needs to pick up some stuff from Champlain's boat. Champlain is that white-haired guy who he met in town. So they get on this yacht and take a tackle box, and then this happens.
You will all stand perfectly still, and you're all under arrest.
What?
Jordan!
For smuggling antiquities.
Don't panic, kids. I know just who to call.
American Express, how may I help you?
Hi, Barbarella. I'm being arrested. Can you explain to these foreign police that I'm not smuggling antiquities? Those are actually just my old leathery breasts. I'll put you on speaker. This is like the second time that these girls are like, what are you doing? You're coming with us. It's like, they gotta just start following the rules a little better. Also, what a crazy shift in tone from worrying about a love triangle and trying to impress your date and having a mean girl be on your to getting thrown into a holding cell for a felony.
Alex, do you realize where we are? This isn't detention. It's jail. In a foreign country. It's not American Express, it's Midnight Express.
The no-fee credit card that can help you do more.
Of course, the girls and Griffin get broken out of jail the next day by their parents, but Jordan, who actually had the tackle box of stuff, like trying to convince them that he just was doing it for a friend, which, by the way, I don't think it counts if you're just ignorant of the fact that you're being sent onto someone's private property. Actually, I don't know. I guess if you're compelled to do it for money, there's a case there. Either way, Jordan is kept in jail, and the parents are like, you're staying with us for this whole trip because you keep getting arrested. But the kids have a plan. This is where I think it could be a lot more solidified that the girls have lost their parents' trust, where they're like, we might have believed you before all of this drama, but now we just don't know what to think, girls. We're really gonna have to think about this when we get back. I think that would help raise the stakes appropriately so that they're like no longer just trying to get Jordan out of jail, but they also have to gain their parents' trust back and prove that they weren't lying, because maybe, oh, their senior year is gonna be ruined if they don't have their parents' trust, or they're not gonna be allowed to do any of the school trips coming up or whatever. Like, all of their travel plans for the future are in jeopardy because of this. That would be something a little more lasting. The parents are still talking like this is the goddamn kids are all right.
Well, you can't just get over something that upsets you. You have to work through it.
Do me a favor and take off your lab coat. I need a mother right now, not a shrink.
What kind of shrink wears a lab coat? Are you getting your therapy from the Clinique counter? Also, some real attentive parents you are, because they're listening to a boombox of their children right now. They could be drowned in the river. Also, when did these kids have time to record 2 or 3 hours of them being like, oh, we're playing at the beach? Like, what? Anyway, the kids do see Champlain in town, and they have to chase him down to get answers about the boat.
Get out of our way!
Not these National Geographic reaction shots of the locals. The producer's like, and the best part is we didn't even need to ask their permission to be on camera because they don't speak English. Oh, they speak English here? Well, we still didn't ask them. This chase scene is so boring. It's like, we get it. They have an outdoor shopping area It's like literally just following behind the person. Like it takes a lot more planning, I think, to make an engaging chase scene. And I think the framing inside, like following someone from the side, will really help give a sense of speed to that. Anyway, Champlain avoids them. He jumps on the boat and bye-bye. And the kids are convinced that the best way to free Jordan is to find the boat and like find the other antiques. They're like, if this guy steals antiques, he's got to have others on the boat because he can't be selling them because he has a huge boat. And it's like, even if he's rich, he might still want more money. They come up with a plan to show the police the other antiques and prove Jordan's innocent. And do you see how this is a lot to cram into the last 30 minutes of a movie that up until now had nothing to do with stolen antiquities? I agree. It's like they were trying to make 3 different storylines that could have been their own tonally different movie, and then they just crammed them together.
Ugh. Are you okay? I think I swallowed too much water. We'll be right back. Griffin, why don't you go to the gift shop and see if they have any Pepto-Bismol?
I feel like Alex drew the short straw in this plan by having to be the one who pretends to their pants at the restaurant. And it's not suspicious at all that these 3 kids are teaming up on a tummy ache like the Power Rangers.
Do you believe them?
No.
Wait a minute. After all that's happened, you still trust them?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you literally just said you don't believe them, and that's the opposite of trusting them. But again, why should we expect the dialogue to start making logical sense here in the 3rd act with the stolen antiquities heist twist? When the police don't search the boat because there's no like evidence to suggest they should, the girls are like, we gotta get some evidence.
Police won't board this ship without a good reason. So we'll give them a good reason. You have a plan?
Oh, the mother of all plans.
And that's how the girls decided to steal a yacht. Not sure how they got it started, but who am I to question the mother of all plans? For everyone who doesn't live in mortal fear of the police, the best way to expose someone else's felony theft is to commit felony theft. That's the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally of white privilege. So the girls just are cruising with this stolen f***ing boat. Like, what? Also, the thing with the dad being like, I do trust them. It's like, you shouldn't. They were arrested recently. I'm not a parent, but if the kids are getting fully locked up abroad and ruining your family vacation, I think it might be time to tighten the reins a little bit. And I mean that literally. I suggest putting restraints over their head, necks, and mouths, because they're about to get straight up caught by the cops again.
Let them catch us. They'll come aboard, they'll find the evidence, and... Oh no, what evidence? Exactly. If they come aboard and we don't have any evidence, they'll bust us for borrowing this tub.
Wow, borrowing? Way to avoid accountability for physically pirating a ship. I guess by that logic, I'm just borrowing all of these ripped DVD files off of the internet. Sue me. Oh, I just got an email. They are suing me. Does anyone know if that lady on Law & Order SVU is a real-life lawyer? Because I need someone to represent me who has really good hair. The girls steal this boat without having anything to show the police once the police catch the boat. So they start running around to find those antiquities that they don't know are there. Wow, you discovered the missing artifacts, along with the bare foot of a camera operator and those 2 crew members in the hallway behind you. Really well shot.
You want evidence? We got evidence.
Yeah, there's evidence of you stealing a boat everywhere because we're currently on the boat you stole. Also, maybe don't clothesline that police officer in the chest. These girls have affluenza oozing out of their pores. But they've exonerated Johnny and Bonnie and everyone's happy and they're like, that's the must of our Christmas vacation. And then I forgot that this was a thing. Maybe it happens in all of these movies, but it like goes meta all of a sudden to them cutting. And then it's real life Mary-Kate and Ashley and the cast and crew all like wrapping up and having this funny like meta gossip about the shoot. I don't know.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? I mean, you were good.
Oh, thanks.
You were really good.
That was kind of a stretch.
It's great. You live in the valley?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should go out sometime.
Oh yeah, what cool spots do you know where a 21-year-old can take out a 15-year-old? DZ Discovery Zone? This whole movie needs to be chemically castrated. Chemical castration will be just fine for my smoothie. Also, it's like, I don't know why the meta versions of Mary-Kate and Ashley, like the fictional behind-the-scenes ones, are kind of two-faced.
Working with you guys is so much fun. I really hope we get to shoot another picture together.
Great, thank you. We have to get rid of him. The director was furious with him. He missed at least a dozen shots.
Don't worry, our editor just got a really cool Super Chick CD. That plus all of the outtakes of us being humped by those dolphins should be enough to fill in all the gaps. Dip, dip, that's all she wrote for Holiday in the Sun. I love these Mary-Kate and Ashley movies because I didn't realize how low quality they were when they all came out. These poor girls were probably forced to work like crazy hours on this that's literally just here to sell vacation tickets. Like, oh, and the American Express and the Krispy Kreme, like such weird sponsors that are all aimed at adults. So that to me is weird, but also just the acting is bad. So good God, the script. There's so much to talk about. What were your favorite parts? Let me know in the comments below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more MK&A content here on Clip Breakdown. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications. If you're on a holiday and you want to be the first to know when I upload a new vacation adventure. Also, I've got merch and a Patreon where you can access exclusive bonus episodes and virtual watch parties. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you so much for joining me for this Holiday in the Sun. I will see you next time.